Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little bit about what I experienced overall on my 1 week playthrough of competitive Halo again. After really needing a break of what I think might be the worst Apex season in history, I decided that I'd pick Halo back up and see what exactly has changed over the course of just 7 days of gameplay. I really gave it my fair share, tried the competitive playlists that there are. At the time it was the 4v4 ranked arena, also the ranked FFA playlist when I was playing. I wanted to determine, where is Halo now? What happened? Why is it not where I think that it could be or should be, like it used to be? What do I still think needs to change? What did I like, not like? And there's gonna be a lot more in-depth analysis in other videos. I just didn't want to compile it all into one. Makes it way too long. For those of you who don't know me, as you probably picked up on, I typically am streaming Apex. I used to compete in Halo. I competed for about 10 years. Starting about 15 years ago, I started competing in Halo 3 and followed that all the way through Reach, 4, H2A, 5, Infinite. I know that my input probably doesn't mean a whole lot as somebody who's not a professional player. I think I attended between local LAN events and MLG events or HCS or whatever they were during the time. PGL, AGL, I have no idea at this point. It was about 20 of them. I had events where I went out as early as losers round 2 and other events where I made it to top 17. Take the opinions with a grain of salt. I just made it a 7-day project where I played 200 matches on the dot in the ranked arena playlist. Here's what I found out. So the way that I remember the game, it's like this.
Step it up, guys. Ogre 1, he BRs him. Okay, that's nice.
So he's got to do something with this plasma pistol here.
One shot! What happened? What did happen there?
Wow, he got the plasma pistol shot off and missed the headshot.
3 games to 1.
Gandhi, look at me. Gandhi, you suck.
The loss sent Carbon to the losers bracket.
But I was a little offended that Victory didn't mention our relationship. I mean, I raised him and Macchio as my practice noobs up in Michigan, so...
Okay, here we go. See, now it's okay. We're on a good lead. Got the weapons. Boom.
And now it's a little different. Over the course of my 7-day experience, I played exactly 200 games on the dot. I will break it all down in a separate video. I realized that my first go around on this was 30 minutes long, and who in their right mind is going to want to watch that? This video is primarily just going to be an overall, real quick, brief, what did we find out? Somehow, even with outliers, it ends up that you get the correct amount of maps and game types as you should. The spread's about exactly what it should math out to be. The game does feel better than what it did on launch. I personally think that in order for Halo to be completely revitalized, in my opinion, within the gaming space, the realm of esports, your CSGOs, your Valorant, you name it, shooter, whatever you think is the biggest right now in esports. I thought that Halo needed to excel in the PC market. I did a video on this 4 years ago, which obviously nobody watched, and my hair was a little skeptical.
Yeah, weird.
But I talked about why I was so excited for Halo to come to PC, MCC. I personally felt that they needed to open the market up to mouse and keyboard. Unfortunately, for probably quite a few different reasons, it probably fell through. I have my guesses as to what I think it is and why I think it failed, but that can be a different video because that's a whole separate topic in itself. I did have a lot of information that I took note on. Again, if you want to see this, ignore the people tuning into Apex there. If you're wanting to kind of get a feel for exactly what I did note down and where the information comes into play in terms of those outliers, you can check out the other videos. I don't know why, I don't know what has changed, but whatever 343 has done, the game feels a lot better. When I spent time in people's streams, I think I spent 8 hours or so a day in people's streams while I was working, just listening from time to time, having conversations. And there were constant gripes with the connection or how bad desync is or things like that. And I'm sure it's far from perfect, but what game is good at that? The one individual streamer who I did find to be very helpful was actually Vitoed. This guy is extremely nice, super helpful. I actually was asking him about I think they're called super glides. Just coming back into the game, it was easy enough that yes, I could have YouTubed it, but I was working. So I was hoping to hear an explanation live and be able to ask questions if I felt obligated to tab over to a stream while I'm trying to multitask. And although, yeah, I could have done that, and he could have easily said, yeah, here, go to google.com. He actually stopped what he was doing between matches, went into a custom game, and explained everything to me and showed me and gave me a rundown in the middle of his stream, which was incredibly helpful. The guy is super sweet, super awesome, great player, and really cares about his chat a lot and is just super sincere, genuine, and thankful. Highly recommend checking this guy out if you haven't.
And back to our feature presentation.
The big downfall I did see were the disconnects. You can see here in the middle the quantity of disconnects that I had, how those came out to be. I don't know what your guys' experience are, but I had more disconnects on my team than I did the enemy team by a wide margin. The fact that there's no reconnect button or hardcore penalty for those that do get disconnected, whether it's, I'm not sure if it's disconnect or a leave, but I assume that if somebody gets disconnected and there's a reconnect button, they would reconnect. And if they never reconnect to the game, I would assume that they've left the game. That's not always the case, but that should at least be an option. The fact that we're in 2023 and don't have this feature in this game by now is absurd. 34 out of 200 matches were disconnects, which is insane. 17% of my matches, so almost 1 in 5 of my matches were gonna have a disconnect in it. I get that if somebody disconnects and then ends up reconnecting, that it might still be a loss, but I mean, I would at least rather have the opportunity to try than have to just leave and queue again, or instantly just not get points because the win doesn't do anything, or lose points because obviously we probably lost. It's just, it ruins the game and kind of deters you from wanting to play with how frustrating it is, especially when 26 out of 34 of them were on my team. Another issue that I saw was the ranking system itself. The fact that you can easily be getting placed in the back end of Platinum or almost all the way through Diamond from your 5 placement matches is ridiculous. This is actually why I left Apex, so I'm kind of surprised that I've been having fun playing Halo. But the fact that I can bypass Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, and most of Diamond is absurd. I didn't even win all my matches and was still easily able to get near Onyx and inevitably into Onyx. God forbid I didn't push deep into Onyx, admittedly. No, I'm not a great player by any means. I'm probably right where I deserve to be, which is bottom Onyx, let's be honest. But the problem with Apex right now is that everybody is achieving Masters. You can see currently in Apex, everybody is Masters. And that's because the rank system's too easy. And the problem is when you solo queue then, when I queue my Masters games, I'm not getting just Masters and Pred players on my team, maybe some Diamond players. I'm getting some Masters every once in a while, but I'm getting Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum level players that have never even been in Diamond before that are currently in Masters on my team, which, no offense to them, but the game plays differently for a reason. That's what there are ranked distributions for. So when I get 2 kids who are duo queuing who normally sit at Plat 4 every season, but they're currently in Masters on my team in Masters, where I'm playing against Optic Gaming back-to-back, that's crazy. There's no way that that should be possible. I feel like the same thing kind of happens in Halo a little bit. My first FFA match, for instance, and maybe it's because there are legitimately less than 16 individuals queuing and more than 8. So what seems to happen is there's a constant rotation of 4 players in and out or so, and then the lobbies are pretty consistent. My first FFA matches, I was playing against the number 1, 9, 11, and 20 player in the world at the time in FFA in my first placement matches. And I was placed into Diamond 5. I was instantly through all of the ranks. And obviously, it's not like I won all my matches either. Sure, I did okay, maybe compared to the average individual, maybe for saying who I was playing against too, but there's no reason that maybe I'm a new player, there's no reason that I should bypass Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, like, you're defeating the purpose of the rank system. And if there are individuals that shouldn't be in Gold, but maybe had really unfortunate games or disconnects or whatever it is with the way disconnects work in this game, maybe if you see them way outperforming in score and having an accelerated win rate, they can skip divisions like League of Legends or Overwatch, Counter-Strike. I'm not saying the premise of the rank system is bad. I'm saying its current iteration is bad. I'm not sure if it's due to the severe lack of players within the community, but it feels like everybody, if you just play the game, can be getting high diamond, if not Onyx, easily. And I get that there's a difference between low Onyx, mid Onyx, and high Onyx. However, why does everybody have to be an Onyx? Where's the reward in that? It's like a participation trophy. That's why I'm hating Apex ranked right now. Everybody is going to have a Masters badge for no reason. It makes Masters feel worthless. When I first hit Masters, it was the top 0.2%. This season, it's almost 20%, and I guarantee that number is going to climb. I know 343 said their goal is to make Platinum the top of the bell curve, which with this beginning of the season, it currently is. So that's not too bad. But I do feel like Onyx should be scaled down. And I get that inevitably with the way the Halo community is and the fact that it's a competitive playlist, that most players are going to achieve this rank probably. I guess I understand that. But I think by the end of the season, it's going to be the highest achieved rank out of all of them. And I just don't feel like that's right. I feel like it should be your pro players, your competitive players, and people should be striving to earn Onyx. Like they should be getting rewards that they're stoked to achieve Onyx. Like that's their end of season push, their goal, you know? And again, for those of you that are watching this, probably you're all going to be Onyx. I understand that. But I feel like the majority of the player base is not competitive players as much as I don't see it, right? The same thing with Apex. The majority of the Apex community are not people who are going to be competing in online events or going to LANs or trying to do any of that. It's going to be casual players. Same thing with any game. A majority of the player base are your casual players. And I get that they have other playlists that they can go to, but I think it's kind of crazy that the rank with the most players in it is Onyx. And now maybe Onyx is supposed to like obtain, you know, Onyx 1 through 6 essentially, or Platinum 1 through 6. But I don't know, I feel like this should be a little bit lowered. Maybe that's just me. I guess what I'm trying to get at is I feel like the way that the placement matches work, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there are people who should be in gold and platinum that are playing in mid diamond, low Onyx lobbies. The fact that I have games where in a full 5 flag match, somebody legitimately tries and drops 3 and 18 on my team, while next game, it looks like I'm a bot and I get hard carried by somebody going 27 and 10. Not that stats tell the whole story. It just doesn't seem right. If you guys are interested in my breakdown of the statistics from game type and map, or if you're interested in why I think Halo has died off, the debate between controller, mouse, and keyboard, or what maybe they could do a little bit differently to maybe one last hurrah attempt to bring everything back and grow even more, feel free to like and subscribe. Comment down below with what you do or don't like, what you'd like to see more of, or maybe where you think I failed to communicate. If you'd like to come and hang out at Twitch and watch me fail to climb the ranks of Halo, or maybe get in on some Apex games with me, feel free to drop by the channel. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.